Hello viewers, my name is Ashok Sengupta, working as an assistant professor in School of Management Sciences, Lucknow. Today's topic is second part of previous one, steps in project scheduling and network design. In previous topic, we discussed about the various steps incurred while taking the project scheduling. There are 5 basic steps which we need to understand about the project scheduling. Now, in today's topic, we understand about the second part, network designing, how we make network design. So, a project network design is an important tool because it helps team visualize the activities that need to be completed over a duration of the project. It is also give crucial context like task, sequence and dependency. So, project is a network of various activities. Some activities run parallelly, some are independent, some are dependent. So, with proper network design, a project manager easily understand what is the sequence of project, which activity must start at first and followed by the other, which can be started parallelly, which activities depend on each other. While doing this networking properly, a project can be successfully completed within a time frame and within a budget. In my initial lectures, I told that if we delay in the time, then it will hamper the costing. It will increase the cost of the material, it will increase the cost of the labor. So, proper networking always helpful to complete the project within a time duration. A project network is a graph that shows, it is a graphical representation actually, that shows activities, durations and interdependency of tasks within our project. It is a graph, it is actually a graph or design on a paper or system. Nowadays, there are various tools, softwares are available in the market, which helpful for the project manager to create a proper networking. Just put the inputs and they will create the networks, they will create the various graphs. So, project network is a graph that shows the activities, duration and interdependency of tasks within your project. Third is a project schedule network visualize the sequential and logical relationship between tasks in a project schedule or project setting. The visualization relies the clear expression of the chronological of task event. Actually, it is a visualization because we create a network design before starting of the project. We visualize the things, a project manager visualize the things, then that this thing happened after this thing happened after this. So, when we talk about any project, we have to visualize the things that step 1 or task 1 will start at that period of time and it will end at that period of time. Take a various example, a movie maker, a director, a producer also having a project, making a movie. He visualized the things that if he started that project at this month, that then it will complete it at the after 10 month, after 11 month, after a year, after 1.5 year. He also visualized some sequences, some scenes, also visualized that if we required the screen, or if we required the scene of any, you can see that ice or rainy season, if you want to project rainy season, if you want to cast the rainy season or shoot the rainy season or snowfall area, then you have to understand, you have to project, you have to proper sequencing the things, that we will shoot that proper snowfall in any hilly areas in that period of time, because nature cannot change, we cannot change the nature, and if we actually want to cover or shoot the natural things, we need to make it proper networking. There are other examples, there are like some wildlife photographer, they have their projects. Some scientists have their projects about the behavior, about the changes behavior according to time of any animal like elephant, like tiger, and they also always keep them moving, trying to shoot their things according to a time period. So, everything whatever you the project is according to the visual thing, virtually we frame it virtually, then we cast it. Benefit of project management network diagram. A network diagram allows a project manager to track each element of project and quickly share its status, and other benefit includes visual representation of process for stakeholder, which for a stakeholder are anyone, stakeholder is society, government, creditors, banks, all are stakeholders. So, and it is not possible for all stakeholders to keep watch on the project or be present always in on a site, project site. But with the help of network design, with the help of proper network design, we can show them that our project is at that stage, we reached at that stage, we moving from this stage to this stage. This is virtual on paper, but it will satisfy the shareholders. It will satisfy the shareholder. We can send a copy of email, and we can send the fax, we can send the photographs that our project is moving from this and this with the proper networking. Second is establishing project workflow. So, project workflow means starting to end. With proper network diagram, we can start and maintain the project workflow. Let us take the some like A is any task in the project, A is any task in the project, and it is started point. Now, after 5 months it reach B. So, it can be visualized by the stakeholders. It is a workflow. With A, C is also started, C was also started and it was completed in 3 months. It was completed in 3 months. Now, if B is dependent on C, then C have to complete later on before B, C have to complete before B, because B is dependent on C. Here I take 3 months and 5 months. When C completed, then the later part of the B was also is completed and will take 5 months. So, this is a project workflow. This is a project workflow. From B we can move to the D, and at the end you can see finish part F, finish. So, this is project workflow. Project started from here, moving here, then moving this and this. Last is tracking dependency and potential bottlenecks. So, tracking dependency here in this small example, dependency, B is dependent on A and we have tracking on it, that how many time in how many month or how many days C will complete, because we need to start B. We need to start B. So, in how many month the C will complete. Therefore, network design is so important for any project. It gives a path to the viewer, it gives the path to the project manager while taking all the decision making on a paper. But because initially we need a proper planning, designing, we need a proper planning, we have a budget, we have each and everything, but we must have sequences. How much raw material required for A, before completion of A, how much raw material we need to order for next steps, for next task. If we not able to do so, if we fail to do so, then the project will stop at A, because we do not have raw material, and if it will happen, then it totally delayed in the project, So, this is project task dependency and potential bottleneck. There are two types of network diagrams. Basically known as arrow diagram and Precedence diagram, types of network diagram, and here we have two types of network diagram, arrow diagram and Precedence diagram. Arrow diagram method, also known as the ADM or activities network diagram, used arrow to represent the activity associated with the project. Use arrow. What is arrow? A small thing. This is arrow. Use arrow with the project. It is important to note that due to the ADM limitation, it is no longer valid use in project management. Here it is we must understand what is ADM, but nowadays we are not going to use ADM, arrow diagram, we are not using arrow diagram. but as part of the curriculum, as part of your knowledge, it is totally academically that in ADM the trail of arrow represent the start of activity and head represent the finish. A start of activity and finish of activity. The trail of arrow said S from start, it is a tail, this is the tail of the arrow, okay, and where arrowhead moving, it is finished. The length of the arrow typically denote the duration of time, but it is totally difficult to according to, it is only on scale, it is only on scale, like if we think that is a near about it is near of 4 to 5 inches inch. So, 4 inch means 4 month, we can represent like this, we can represent like this, there is a 4 month, first month, second month, third and fourth month. So, length of the arrow denotes the duration of the period, longer the length, longer the duration, longer the length, longer the duration of the period. Now, if there are various sequence of activities, if there are various sequence of activities, each sequence are connected with nodes, each sequence are connected with nodes. So, connected with two boxes known as nodes. The nodes are used to represent, the nodes are used to represent the start or end of an activity in a sequence. The starting node of activity is sometimes called I node, whereas finish node is sometimes called J node. How it is possible? Like this is node, and I said this is I node, this is a arrow tail in starting of the any activities, starting of the any activities is a arrow tail and arrow head, and this arrow head representing this is J node, it represent that activity A started here and B ended here and B started from here, So, both each arrowheads connected with nodes, there can be possible that from each node 2 or 3 arrowhead can start. Like from B there are 3 activities can started, D and E. There are 3 parallel activities started from B. So, but they are connected with the nodes, but they are therefore, they represent that starting and end of the activities. The only relation between nodes and activities that an ADM chart can represent finished and start. So, only in this ADM chart, the nodes are only represent end and finish of any activity, nothing more than this. So, this is about the ADM, arrow diagram method. Okay. Next, like this, see this is a starting point and started here from A. There are two activities like C and 7. It is also parallelly started. So, when A and B finished, then from B and A they come together and join at D. That means, D cannot be start until A and B join. If B comes earlier, if B activity finished earlier, then D activity have to wait for that, need to wait. Like it's 3 weeks and it's take 5 weeks, because it's far, it is a little bit more taking more time. Similarly, from A another activity started at 4, so taking example 4 week at finished at C. From D we started a 1 week activity E, and after when both activities come together here and they finish at that point, they finished at that. This is the ADM, this is the ADM method. Second is precedence diagram method. PDM, network diagram, are frequently used in project management today and are a more efficient alternative of ADM. In the precedence diagram method, for creating network diagram, each box or nodes representing relationship between the various activities, the arrow can be therefore represent the 4 possible relationship. 4 possible starting to finish, as we discussed, when an activity cannot start before other activity finished. Starting to started, both activities able to start simultaneously. F and F, both activity can finish together, like this previous one, like this and this activity finished at together. Starting to finish, it is an uncommon dependency only when one activity cannot finish until activity start. Okay. So, here this is a diagram C, this is a forward pass calculation, we are moving this one 0 starting endpoint 7, from 7 it is a starting point and it is a starting point from this one. 7 plus 10 day activity, it will end with 17th day and it is end with 15th. So, 15 plus 7 is 22, it will end on 22nd, 22 days, the required days, month, week, and from 22 17 more days or week required and it finish at 39. Similarly, it will finish at 29 when and both give until and unless both finished this and this, it cannot be start. So, this diagram is related to this one. D also give support to and or G depend on D, it is here 29 plus 35 35 days and this is finally 63 days, maximum days 63 days is required for the finish of the any days, month, week, anything is required for finishing of the anything of a project. Backward pass calculation. It is quite similar to that one. Here we need to calculate how we can we estimated the final day, we estimated the final finishing day and then calculate with the back diagram, with the backward, okay, how much day required for this, how much day required for this and this and this. In this chapter, in this lesson, in this video, we able to understand about the network diagram. We able to understand the method of network diagram. We able to understand how arrowhead is used, how the potential diagram method is used by networking the things. We also able to understand what is the importance of various activities having in the networking diagram and how it is important for us. So, my friends, I hope you understand that topic, you able to understand the various concept of network diagram, you able to understand the various step taking for the procedures of networking and the sequences in project management. In our next class, we will discuss about some tools which were used to maintain the project management at proper time or time duration. Thank you for watching this video.